Or not, you know, whatever. I'm not sure why it's not doing the thing. There we go. All right, look. Boom. Look at that shit. Check that shit out. Bro, that's a righteous sunburn. Anyway, so I was gonna do this yesterday and we decided to do it today because I was scorched and we went out for cheap Chinese food. It wasn't bad though, for cheap Chinese food. Angela, aloha, what's going on? Welcome in, how are you? Computer, volume 9. Let me know if you guys can't hear that. Anyway, so let's get started. We're gonna start out by making our pie crust. Let me go grab a bucket real quick. You stay right there, and I'm gonna go grab a bucket. All right, here we go. All right, so what we're gonna do in our bucket is we're gonna weigh out our ingredients for our pie crust. Let's go ahead and clear that. Come on. There you go. Computer, turn it down. That song's a lot louder. Oh yeah, right, follow me. Back this way. It did listen. Let's see. Now, okay. So here's our cutting board, or our prep board anyway. First thing to go in is gonna be all-purpose flour. And we're gonna need 425 grams of that. So let's make sure we're on grams. There we go, 425 is what we're looking for. Well, now we're over. Oh, look at that, 425. Dang. Hey, what's poppin', Tucson? How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you? What's up? I'm Hammer. I cook. It's a true story. What's poppin'? We are making chicken pot pie. Right now we're going to do pie crust, which is what we're down there on that board for. We got 425 grams of flour in there, and to that we're going to add some butter. Now I've had this butter in the freezer, so we got sticks of butter that are frozen. Welcome in. Exclamation Chef Story if you want to know a little bit about me, a little bit about why I think that I have anything to say in the world of food. What we try and do, restaurant quality food or better for under $5 on the plate. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for the most part. Mostly it just means making everything yourself. So what we did is we froze our butter, and now I'm going to take that and I'm going to just grate it over the large holes of the grater here. And we're going to keep going until that says, what's the math on that, 800? You know what? We're switching to a box grater. This is going to fling butter friggin' everywhere. I didn't want to do the box grater because I needed to wash my box grater, but I digress. I will wash my box grater. Put the butter back in the freezer for now. Did I watch the soccer game last night, USA versus Canada? I did not. I haven't followed soccer, football, whatever you want to call it, Pretty much ever. You know, and I'm not even a hater, because I will say that it's so fun to go to a match live. Like, going to the Tampa Bay Rowdies games was an absolute blast. But no, I don't much follow soccer. Was it a good one? Was it a bad one? Were you going to be like, haha, America sucks. I'm from Canada, by the way. All right, we've cleaned our box grater now. Let's see, that was 433, so we've got 8 grams of butter in there right now. All right, well, I know that this is gonna take 3 and a little piece of a stick. So that's how much I'm gonna start off grating, is 3 of them, and then we'll start weighing it after that. What's going on, Goaty? Soccer's fun to play, a little slow to watch. Goat evening, Goaty. How are you? It's great to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. Grating butter never gets old. Yes, it does. Just so we know. So we're all perfectly clear. It totally gets old. Luman, greetings. How was my weekend? Rather underwhelming, uneventful. I got scorched by the sun yesterday. I had to go out and mow, do a bunch of chores, etc. Alright, so there's one stick. What we'll do is just toss that butter around in there. Make sure it doesn't get all clumped together. Get along so well. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Stick number 2. Back again, easily, this all come true. You know, I kind of forgot that whenever you're grating butter, a good little trick, and it's something I just learned, which is why I forgot it and didn't do it this time on that first one. But a good little trick is you can take the butter and toss it in the flour, and it'll keep it from sticking quite so much to the box grater. I am grating butter. This is a great way. So if you freeze it, you know, well ahead of time. I usually freeze mine overnight if I'm going to make mine if I know I'm going to make a pie the next day. But if you freeze the sticks of butter and then grate them on a box grater, then you don't ever have to work the flour, and it's about as flaky as you'll ever get anything, whether it's biscuits or pie crust. Any of the short doughs that you don't want to work and you don't want the gluten to develop, this is a great way for incorporating butter into those. If anybody ever asks you if you want to grate butter, just say nah, hard pass. But I totally recommend you do it. It's worth the effort, or I wouldn't be doing it. If there were an easier way to do this and get the same result, I totally would. Alright, come on. Pause for a sec, check the weight, see how we're progressing, mix in all that butter so that it doesn't clump too much. All right, we're at 633. All right, so butter stick number 3. There are easier ways, but it involves hiring a sous chef. Easier ways. Pay somebody else to do it. And again, we toss the stick of butter in here to coat with the flour. It really helps, if nothing else, it really helps for you to grip the butter, because the butter, you know, it would be slippery and greasy, but you got that coat of flour to hold on to, so it makes it not so bad. Yeah, just, you have to grate a lot of butter for this, and it's exhausting. This is worse than actually grating a wedge of parm for Alfredo.
Really?
Yeah. And There's the end of the third. Jesus. All right, we'll stir this around once again. All right, where are we at? About 50 grams shy. All right. So that'll take about another half stick. So it's about 3.5 sticks of butter all in. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Design Cooks? How are you? Great to see you. All right, now let me get around here to the other side so I can see the weight. See the weight as we grate. We're looking for 800 as the magic number here. There we go, 800. There's our magic number. Woohoo! Woohoo! Hooray! Now then, all we're going to do now just toss all that together. Now you see how I've already got that sand texture that everybody talks about whenever they're talking about incorporating butter into biscuits. Whenever they talk about like cutting the butter in or anything like that, this is the texture that they're looking for. And look, we're already there, and we haven't had to do anything to this aside from just grate the butter. There you go. So to this we're going to add what, 120 grams of really cold water. All right. Now I keep these these reusable ice cubes around for just this kind of thing. All I need is cold water. Water comes out of the tap pretty dang cold, and I don't want all the extra funkiness that goes with ice. So I just use those colorful reusable plastic ice cubes. All right, now let's zero this thing out. And we're looking for 120. $120 on the money. How about that? Let's go. All right, guys, now let me clear off my board here. Get a little cleanup going. Now, look, I know that I've given you gram measurements here, and that sounds very specific. This isn't super specific, okay? As long as you're close in terms of butter and flour, just add water until it becomes the texture that you will see whenever we bring this together here, okay? Because if it's more humid where you're at, it's going to take less water. If it's less humid where you're at, it's going to take more water. Everything's just a little bit different, right? Protein content of flour is different, all kinds of stuff. So what we're going to do, guys, is 120 grams of water. Then we're just going to bring it together. And again, we just want to work this as little as possible. So as soon as you can see it's still really dry and crumbly right now, but look how close we are. You'll see, it won't take very long to come together. Look, see how it's coming together? We're there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take all of this, dump it right out here on the board. All I'm going to do is just crumble it through a little bit, make sure we got all the dries. And now we got this that should mound up into a ball. See, we got a nice ball here. That's all we want to work it, guys. We don't want any more work into it than that. So we're going to take about half of it, break it off. Grab a bench scraper. As soon as it'll press into a shape like this, that's it, guys. We're going to pause. We're going to wrap this up, pop it into the fridge, okay? There we go. Got one wrapped. Pick up our second half. All right, there we go. Now I'm just going to press them a little flat, like that. Pop them into the fridge for the next half hour or so, at least. And then I will get caught up with chat while those chill for a sec and we move on to our next step. Wash my hands up real quick and then say hello to all you fine folks. Thank you so much for coming into my kitchen. Grab my sandy towel. Get our surface wiped. All right, now then. Hey guys, how are you? Welcome in. All right, Mr. Design Cooks. You hopped in. You were the last one I said, hey, okay, welcome in, says Lumen. Not bad, back at the Michigan resort, hell yeah. Great and frozen butter, we were, yes indeed. Sea urchin pot pie. This is chicken, but there aren't many seas in Missouri is the problem. Otherwise, totally, sea urchin pot pie, why the hell not? Little roe pot pie. Is there an animal that cannot fly that does wade around in water? Somebody can think of one, let me know. Let's see, you've always sucked at dumplings and they're easy. How many lumens in the flashlight? Oh, because luminology. But I see what you did there. Let's see. Making that dough always gives me two, always mess it up. For what, dumplings? What kind of dumplings? Like chicken and dumplings? Or like Chinese soup dumplings? Or like steamed bun kind of dumplings? Or what kind of dumplings are we talking here? Pot stickers? Let's see. I've been trying to do concrete with torn ACL. Is getting old. Yeah, I would imagine so. Can I make a sea urchin pot pie for Mr. Design Cooks? If I had a sea. If I had a sea nearby me. The sea urchin, dude, sea urchin roe is so pricey. It's one of those meals that definitely would not be inside of a $5 food budget. It also feels like it'd be a waste of sea urchin roe if I'm honest. I can maybe see it being used as like a topper for each slice. Like if you did a big cast iron pot pie, but maybe did like a fish pie. And then on top of it did sea urchin roe after it was out of the oven. That might be good. Chicken and dumplings, pot stickers aren't too bad. So, yeah. You know what? We'll do chicken and dumplings. So here's the easy button. You want to hit the easy button on chicken and dumplings? Get 4, you know those big bags, those 10-pound bags of chicken quarters that are like less than $10? Go and get one of those, and that'll make 2 big batches of chicken and dumplings. But what you do is you take 4 or 5 of them, however many is half the bag, 4 or 5 of those chicken quarters, put them in a big stock pot and fill it all the way up to the handles with water, and then let that boil the chicken for like an hour or so. Then you pull the chicken out and toss in like 6 or 8 of the bouillon chicken cubes, and then there's like at every grocery store, at every like Mega Mart grocery store, there's like 4 packs of basic buttermilk biscuits. They're just very standard issue. They're not the great big ones. They're not the grands or the flaky layers. The very generic basic buttermilk biscuit. Go get like a 4-pack of those. It'll be 40 biscuits total because it's 10 packs. And you take those biscuits, just tear them into quarters, chuck them into that liquid, shred your chicken off the bone, toss it in there, done. Salt, pepper to taste. It's a solid pot of chicken and dumplings. I'm not even fucking around. Like, I can make a better pot of chicken and dumplings, but it requires quite a bit of effort. This is like super simple chicken and dumplings, and it's really good. Sea urchin sushi burrito. All right, what are we doing now? We got to roast the chicken. Let's do that. Let's roast our chicken. Crank the oven up to 4 1/4. Grab our bakeware out of here. Alright, so we've got some chicken quarters here. Or, I'm sorry, chicken. And we're just going to roast those off real quick. If you got your oven at 425, it'll only take about half an hour to roast off chicken thighs. If you're doing it at 350, it takes closer to an hour. So we're going to go with a quick. It also leaves the skin crispier doing it this way. So it's also a preference. All right, y'all want to see a really neat trick? This is a great trick for chicken thighs if you haven't seen it actually. Here, let's get you guys to stop right there. Stop, stay. Thank you. Alright, so when it comes to roasting chicken thighs, unless you have a toddler that has misplaced your pan, hang on. Hang on. The kid has run off with my pan. There it is. Alright, gonna have to wash it because he put it on the floor. Alright. Anyway, giant muffin tin. Perfect pan for roasting chicken thighs. Same goes for smoking them actually. You can do this on a barbecue smoker. And they come out picture perfect because they stay intact and together. It roasts very consistently this way. Or smokes or barbecues or however you're cooking them. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. You guys are off on some high-tech flashlight talk right now. Luminology apparently actually knows about light stuff. All right. So here's what I mean, guys. You can do this. You take your chicken thighs and you leave them skin side up, but you just stuff them, tuck them up under themselves like this, and then just stuff them down in there. Tuck them down in that little muffin tin. And just pick a side, because there's one side where the bone's exposed right here. That's the side that you typically want to put down, but it doesn't really matter. You just pick a side and make sure that that's your consistently down side. I like to put it bone side down because then you can tuck the skin up and over all the way. The reason you want the skin on the top is because A, it allows it to be crispy, but B, it drips that fat down over the chicken and kind of bastes itself the whole time. And now you see this small one, I'm gonna stick that one in the middle. I don't know that it really is gonna make a difference, but anyway. So there we go. Skin tucked up and over. Everybody's all tucked in for the ride in the oven. And what that does is it holds it all together so that it cooks very uniformly. Go watch Markiplier. He did it with CGI channel. Oh yeah, bone in. Oh yeah, Lumen. So what this does is it bunches them all together. You see how everyone's basically the same size and shape. So A, they're all going to cook very consistently. But B, once they're done, you'll just have this nice little wad of meat. And when you're dealing with bone-in thighs, as long as they took the plate bone, because there's actually two. There's another bone that this goes into, or maybe it's on this side. I think it's on this side. There's another bone that this goes into, and it's kind of a plate style bone. But most thighs these days have that removed, and it's just this one single bone running through the middle. And so actually, you stack this up on itself like that, and it'll eat way easier than a drumstick. Now we're going to shred it and put it in a pot pie, but I still prefer to cook them this way. Chicken pot pie on the mind. What's up, George? Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, our oven it's preheating. We'll go ahead and stick the chicken in anyway. Once it gets up to temperature, we'll set our timer. What's up, guys? Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, so George, give me a shout out for this, man. There we go. For anybody that's just joining us, or hasn't already, please follow George's hot sauce. I know I'm kind of speaking in circles. I don't know what it is. But anyway, George is awesome. George does great food, soul food, feeds the family, and has his own hot sauce, and does all this other cool stuff too, like sports games and other variety streams. Cool dude. We love George. Let's see. Yep, this chicken pot pie, I'm not real sure what all is going to land in it. It's basically, we're going to start out traditionally, but then I'm going to throw in whatever other garden veg I have. I don't remember what all Puck Bunny's brought in, but we have oh my God, we have so much. Our garden is spitting out so much food right now, it's ridiculous. Anyway, what am I doing now? Oh, it's roasting. So what I was going to do actually while the chicken was roasting is let me put this down. God dang, dude. There's only like 5 dishes over here, but there's still no room to put anything. That sucks. Go back up there, scale can go over here. Now then, what I was going to do while we were waiting for the chicken to roast is I was going to attempt, Cooking in Wonderland did a knife sharpening tutorial. I have a whetstone that I'm not particularly proficient with. So I took a few notes and we're going to give it a shot. See if we can't really sharpen up one of our knives. So, got a good whetstone here. Been soaking since before we started the stream. Let me grab a little bowl of water here. And let's grab a knife. Ooh, this is the oldest, shittiest blade we have. If we can put an edge on this, then I'd say that that is a successful lesson trip here. Tampa Bay Lightning, yes indeed, you did get the hockey team right. Always rocking the Tampa Bay jersey whenever I can find it and it's clean. Alright, so check it out. You know, eventually here. Let's go there. There we go. All right. So the notes that I took is that cooking in Wonderland kept an extremely shallow angle like this, which admittedly this is way more shallow than I typically go. Dylan, welcome in, Dylan. How are you? Just using a whetstone, trying to put an edge on a blade here real quick while we're waiting for the chicken to roast for our chicken pot pie. Welcome in. My name's Hammer. I cook. True story. Exclamation chef story if you want to know a little bit about me, a little bit about my chefy background. Otherwise, welcome in. What we try and do around here is we try and do restaurant quality food, or better, for under $5 on a plate. See, now, Alice said you're supposed to be able to feel a lip, or cooking in Wonderland rather, said that you're supposed to be able to feel a lip on the other side whenever you're doing this right. Exclamation chef story. Sorry, Dylan. And I'm glad you like cooking. I too love cooking. Oh, Puck Bunny sent me to London. All right. Computer, set a 5-minute timer.
5 minutes, starting now.
There we are, 5 minutes on the clock. We'll be talking about... Oh, here, I'll do it for you, Dylan. Here we are. Exclamation... There we are. Sorry, I know it's a bit confusing. Anyway, so... Right now, we're just whetstoning this blade, trying to get an edge on it. This is an old blade that I've taken camping for literal decades at this point. You're from London. Right, so this is probably a shite accent for you then, but it's the best we can do as a Yank, eh? It's not bad. I've been doing it my whole life. Well, welcome into an official Londoner. Thank you very much. Take my break. Oh, you gave me a break? Chefy break. Look at that. All right. Well, let me get this other side then. Oh, I can feel a little lip. Maybe I'm doing it right now. So anyway, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Hopefully it's not offensive. It's just a bit cheeky fun, yeah. At least I'm not all like cheerio, pip pip, and all that rot. You know I'm talking about, huh? Big Ben cup of tea. A spot of tea or whatever. Whatever stereotypical thing people are on these days. Well, it does feel substantially sharper. Let's see how we did. Let's give it a few more just single strokes the length of the blade. Alright, there we are. Now then, let's see how we've done. Let's see how we've done. Right, no Englishy. Change that. It's more like 1965. Sorry if I don't make much sense now. Ate some gummies earlier. Well, that's alright. That's alright, because George's hot sauce was nice enough to give us a chefy break. And if you don't know what that is, it costs a very conspicuous 420 points. So 420 quid, I mean, it's pretty obvious. But just in case you're not hip to that sort of talk, you know. What it is I smoke weed. I live in a recreationally legal adult use cannabis state. I am an adult and I choose to recreate legally using cannabis. So, if that offends your delicate sensibilities, or if you have any small ones present in the room and want to get rid of them, it'll be about a minute and a half that this is going to take. But thank you very much for the redemption, George. Appreciate it. I'll take any good opportunity to have a bowl, if you know what I mean. Not talking cereal, are we? So, if you've got it like we've got it over here, load you a bowl. Join in all the reindeer games, so to speak. Computer, stop. There we are. There's the timer on the accent. So, George, cheers, bud. Thank you. AC vents destroying my O's right now. No, I agree it's not bad, but some people, you know, everybody's got their own vibe, right? I just don't like to assume. I like to give everybody a heads up, just in case I got kids or something watching. I know I'm listed as 18 up channel, and you should get a notification on your way in that says, hey, are you cool with this dude smoking weed? But I like to give people a heads up anyway. Courtesy and all. Cheers, governor. Pardon the interruption from the dog. Alright, so here we've got tomato out of the garden and our knife. This was an old, I promise you, this was an old beat up knife. I should have tried to cut something before we tried to put an edge on it, but this is an old beat up knife. I've taken it camping with me forever. I don't even have to be talking like this. What am I doing? Stupid bastard. Anyway, I've taken this camping with me for literal decades at this point. It has been through hell and has served me well. And it only cost me like 12 bucks initially to buy it. So this thing has more than given me its use. But let's check it out. I promise you this knife is no less than 20, 22 years old, give or take. Look at that. Look at that. Pretty as you please. That's nice. I was just letting the blade pressure, look, I'm not even putting any finger pressure on it. I'll pinch it here at the back of the knife. Not bad. Not bad. I'll take it. That's a win. No, but like old nans act like it's gonna ruin your life, like they aren't taking a piss or what. It's not unhealthy, it's natural. I agree. Yeah, that'll do. I'm happy with that. Okay. They added some new medicinal laws in states. Unfortunately, Texas still acting stubborn like a bitch. Yeah, Oklahoma's a great place to buy weed right now. I'll be real. Like they've got Oklahoma when they legalized, and granted they're still medical. It's not recreationally legal there. When they legalized, man, they really opened it up for dispensaries, and so honestly, you can get a really good buy in Oklahoma right now, and they did really good with giving licenses for growers. So there's some quality bud being grown in Oklahoma too. All right, set that timer for 30 minutes. Got the chicken cooking. Now, we've done a nice little knife sharpening, so why don't we use our freshly sharpened knife and chop up some veggies? Well, now that I know that trick, I'll spend some real time putting an actual edge on things, and we'll get really sharp knives in this house. Like, I've always kept them relatively sharp. I've always kept them honed and kept the edge straight and, you know, sharpened them as best I could, but I always felt like that was a skill that I was lacking. But that was a great run, because that didn't take long at all, and it went from dull to sharp pretty dang quick. And that stone actually has a flip side. That was the 1,000 grit side that we were using, the red side. The white side is actually a 3,000 grit, so we can really sharpen it up. Now, it's not quite polished sharp, but we can get it pretty dang sharp with a 3,000 for sure. Let's see. No fingers under the blade. You got it. Added, let's see, we got that. If your nephew is licensed transport, you don't have to buy anything. There you go. Granddad used to smoke and did it. And it did him. I don't know what that means. Give me that word in context. There are like mini cannabis stores here, so it's not that bad. Nice. See, and the thing is, I live in a recreationally legal state. It's like if you're 21 and up, it is legal. You can walk into a dispensary and just get it. And it doesn't matter if you're from the state or not. If you got an ID and you're over 21, have some weed. But right next door, like literally less than 20 minutes down the road, is Kansas, and it's still like weed. Like it's still drugs weed. They think that in Kansas, it's still illegal. Capital I illegal. How much cheese do we have left, Chef? Let's see. There we go. Out of 8 pounds, lumen, this is all that remains of the Gouda. This is all that remains of the cheddar. There is 0 Colby Jack left. And then this is all that remains of the pepper jack. So, I don't know, let's grab a scale, let's weigh it out. We've got one. So we started with a little over 8 pounds. And we've got just under 2 pounds left. We've got 1 pound, 14 ounces. So we burned through 6 pounds of cheese last weekend. We've got a little less than 2 left. We could probably use that up some point this week. That'd be easy enough. I mean, we'll put some of them on these enchiladas. That we're bound to do some leftover enchiladas. I think we'll do those tomorrow night. Let's see. So it's gangsta in Kansas like the old mom. Yeah, like why am I cooking children pot pie today? Because fuck them kids, that's why. Chicken pot pie, because we have a bunch of garden vegetables, and because I didn't have any clever ideas, so I thought let's do a chicken pot pie. For no other reason than I wanted to use garden vegetables in another way than just some sort of vegetable side like I've been making with them. You should see, look, guys, this is just one of about 8 bags, very similar, but like multiple bags like this are coming out daily from this garden. This is full of let's see, Roma tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes, tomatillos, yellow tomatoes, looks like a zucchini, maybe a squash in there. I mean, daily. You can't keep up. It's ridiculous. So that's why we're doing pot pie, is because I have too many dang vegetables. Hey, Lemon, what's going on? Welcome in. Let me give a proper shout out here. For anybody that doesn't follow Recipe Reborn, she's flipping awesome. Biracial Canadian, biracial Asian Canadian culinary student. And she's a fantastic cook. Like, fantastic. I cannot stress how much I seriously enjoy sitting in on her streams, because she makes stuff that like I don't even think about. She makes a lot of video game inspired food, which is fun. A lot of Final Fantasy stuff. Click that heart, it's free. She's awesome. Why not? How is it going? We made it ourselves. What, the produce? Yeah, absolutely. We grew a big garden this year, or well, relatively big. It's not big compared to what we will grow in the future, but big for like year one. Anyway, welcome in, Lemon. How are you? How was your weekend? How's your Monday? How's everything starting for you? Let's see. Grab our knife that we just stoned. See if I can find my sharpening steel. My kid seems to like to run off with that one as well. Or my honing steel, whatever you want to call it. My steel. I'll be honest, I haven't seen it in a while. That kid up in RUNNOFT. Do I still hang out with Bubs sometimes? Yeah, I was just hanging out with Bubs earlier today. He was making wings, I think. Bubs mostly was smoking weed and playing Operation. No, he's doing this summer camp theme thing, which is real. Dude, I love how he themes his streams. Like, all summer long he's doing like a summer camp thing, and today he was doing his summer camper like first aid merit badge, and he was playing Operation. And for every 2 times he'd hit the wall while he was trying to remove everything in under 2.5 minutes, he'd do a dab, because it's also 7:10, which if you're a stoner means do your dabs. Is cooking my biggest hobby? Cooking has been, I have been cooking honestly, and I know this is gonna sound like stupid because who the hell actually has been cooking since they were 9, but I've been cooking since I was 9 years old. And granted, at that time it was just basics, right? You start off with like boxed mac and cheese, grilled cheese, the things that you know, that you think you can handle as a kid. But from there, it advanced very quickly. I used to play restaurant in my house and make mom dinner before I was double digits old. Like, I might have been 10. I might have made 10 years old before I started like writing out menus, sitting mom down at the table and pretending like she was at a restaurant and I just went and I'd cook food. You know, it's always just been a thing that I really enjoy doing. I'd done it professionally on and off for over 20 years. I didn't honestly think that I'd ever work professionally for anybody else ever again. I ran my own ice cream company. I ran my own catering company, and COVID killed them both. So now I'm just doing this. I've got a lot of things to share, and I like to share them. It's fun. This is good fun for me. Like, I'm gonna cook anyway, okay? This just gives me an excuse to eat a little better because people are watching and will judge me for eating DiGiorno 5 times a week. Let's see. Took a day off today and tried to do some errands, but not super successful. You're trying to do some home remodeling, but you didn't find the carpet that you like. What kind of carpet are you looking for? Yeah, you were definitely a kitchen helper at a young age. You realize now it's because your dad didn't want to stir his tapioca for turning. You plus a chair plus a spoon equals tapioca stirred. Bang. Judge me or join me. You were making fat kid food at 9 years old? Let's see. What are we doing? We got 20 minutes left on that. We chop up the veg. Yeah, let's go ahead and, that's what we were gonna do. We were gonna do that, and then George said, hey, smoke some pot, and then we did. And then we lost track of where we were. But that's okay. That is one of the wonderful features of this stream, is that occasionally Hammer gets lost too. And let me grab an onion real quick. I said, let me grab an onion real quick. All right. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. You guys are looking at headphones. Hey, how you doing? Let's see. You were working at a bakery when you were in college, and it was an experience. It was so fun, but you can't do hobbies anymore because being an adult, it's hard and sad. But you like collecting watches. Collecting watches is, if this were the cooking class wealthy, I'd consider it, because I do like, I like the look of a good watch. It's I didn't think I would, but then I got a couple of half decent ones, nothing fancy. Got a couple of half decent ones, I don't know, about, this celery looks like ass. Whatever. It's pot pie, it's not picky. Anyway, I don't know, about probably 10 years ago or so. And I liked it. I liked the way that it looked. I liked the way that it felt. I liked actually being able to do this as more than a sarcastic, what the fuck's taking you so long kind of maneuver. Oh, hey, don't worry about it, Miss Ellis. You're good. You're good. Like I said. No harm. This is like a little baby onion. Bro, I wish I'd have known I needed more onion. It's okay. Got another half one in the fridge. That'll work. Let's see. We're gonna do this right here, right? Yeah. Guys, this is a freshly sharpened knife. Hey, how about that? Come on now. This thing's working like a champ. This thing's like this is new. We breathe new life into this. God, who knows how old this knife is? I guarantee you it's no less than 20 years old. And it was $10 brand new. So this thing long should have been retired, but it became my camping knife. And so it stayed in service. And then we just put a killer edge on this thing in like 5 minutes on that dang whetstone. This is great. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Move, carrots. Look at this. This is beautiful. This knife's perfect. Look, that's beautiful. This is great, guys. Hey, you're good, Miss Ellis. We've all been outside of our right minds. No worries. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everything's all none the worse for wear, hopefully. Guys, look at this. This is great. We should have done this ages ago. Or learned how to do this ages ago. I'm just really glad that I tuned in for that stream. So, Cooking in Wonderland, if you're in my chat, anybody can give a shout out. Would you mind Cooking in Wonderland, all one word? If we could get a proper shout out for Cooking in Wonderland. They did a knife sharpening tutorial, and I saw something in their mechanics that I had not previously seen in other tutorial videos, and it really has helped. This is way sharper than I usually get a knife off of a whetstone in that short of a time frame. Husband got the job at the warehouse, starts Wednesday night. That's awesome. Congratulations. Alright, let's see what other veg we got. Because we got a bunch. Definitely got zucchini, definitely got squash. Those are definitely going to go in. So let's grab a zucchini. Here's the other half onion we want to cut up. Don't mean nothing. Squash. Let's do a green tomato. I know that tomatoes aren't traditional, and I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to keep this from being soupy. I think we'll be all right. I think we're going to have to make some adjustments, but I think we'll be all right. Let's throw just a handful of tomatoes in there. That should do us. Ooh, nope. Found another veg that needs to be added. Brussels sprouts. Because why not? Yeah, I know. All right. So firstly, let's go ahead and chop up the leftover onion here, because we definitely need more onion. And yeah, we grew Brussels sprouts too. So I'm just going to cut these in half, split them open. We'll see how they go. I mean, some of them a little small. It's all a learning process, right? You got to learn how to garden just like you got to learn how to cook, just like you got to learn how to do just about anything in life. I don't know that people are born. You know what? I've had Tucker, and he's pretty bright. He's not quite 2, but I don't feel like he was born knowing shit. And that's my own kid, so how you think I feel about yours? No, just kidding. It's always pretty and rainy and gloomy here, except in the summer. You also get lots of snow sometimes, but it's okay. There's some dirt. Lovely. Guess we'll have to rewash all our veg again. Okay. I mean, to be fair, you grow a bunch of vegetables, you're going to end up with some dirt. These cute little baby Brussels. Let's see. Grab another bucket here for the veg. Alright, wash the knife. Alright, and then same thing here, guys. We're just, I don't know, sauteable pieces. I don't know what size I'm gonna call this. So let's see, we'll cut that off. Straight down the middle. Alright, that's big for even my mitts. Guys, this knife's doing great. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Anybody know what the country of origin for zucchini is? Anybody? You don't understand US measurements? Yeah, I understand. I get it. Like, y'all's measurements mostly make sense, except for the Celsius thing. The Celsius thing, I don't know about that. Like, yeah, I get it. 0 and 100, but like, it's weird for it to be hot as hell out and you say, oh, it's like 30 degrees, or I don't know, what is hot in Celsius? Yeah, we're gonna spend a little bit putting a really, really good edge on this, because for it to be able to do this at this stage, it's amazing. It's like my tomato slicing trick that I like to show people. If you have a blade with a flat profile on the sides of the handle, you just put palm pressure on the heel of the handle, cut a flat spot on your tomato, and then you get consistent slices every single time. Like having a deli slicer without having to have a deli slicer. Of course, you'll never get a thin slice, of course, but consistent at least. Let's see, what am I missing? For as long as you've been in Missouri, the weather here is bipolar. That's fair. It's a fair statement. Sometimes it do be like that, Miss Ellis. All right, I feel like that's good enough. That's plenty of vegetables, right? Zucchini, let's see. Not originally from Missouri. Missouri, like a semi-desert or plain. Missouri, there's lots of parts of Missouri that's in the Ozark Mountains. It's not a desert at all. Everything's just green, green, and more green everywhere as far as you can see. Let's see. Zucchini, not from France. So zucchini originally hails from Italy. Italians invented zucchini. It was a variety of squash that they actually bred, and it originated there. So there's a lot of great Italian zucchini dishes, by the way, which we will dig into at some point. Probably this weekend, actually. Let's see. Oh, it gets hot at like 15 degrees Celsius, 30 is hellish. Okay. Great, but you weren't liking the people in Texas. Just got to meet the right people. Cowboy dudes like these old nodges, rude for no reason, just because you're English. Lots of hills, lots of greens, some cliffs here and there, and even it is a nice place. Here in Springfield, there's green everywhere and a lot of trees. Yep. Yeah, roads with cliffs and very few guardrails. There's signs that say falling rocks. It's not like California mountains, but it's the Ozark Mountains. Then they cut a road straight through them, so it has been done. Okay. Oh look, our chicken timer's counting down. Let me grab a pan. Let's move our veg over here for now. Okay. Let's see, bake at 375 now. That's what we'll need it for the pot pie. What was I gonna do? Just grab a towel, bring the chicken out. And there you go. Some roast chicken. And you see how they're all the same size and shape? Those are all very predictable to eat. And listen to this. You hear that? Super crispy skin. I mean, come on. Roads here in Springfield are crazy. Yep. These are actually unseasoned because we're going to season them. I just wanted them baked so that I could shred the meat off of them. We'll season them in with the sauce that's going in with the pot pie. So this was just literally chicken put in muffin tins, roast at 425 for 35 minutes. And you get a nice little crispy skin like this. Nice little shape. Works great. If I wanted to eat the chicken as is, I'd have probably, like, you know, you season it up with whatever you want. I'd probably do like a dry rub for like a barbecue and then just sauce them right before they finish. Do a barbecue chicken that way. I mean, hell, you can season chicken any damn way. There's a million ways to make chicken. You know what's really good is chipped beef. You wrap chipped beef around chicken like this, and then serve it with a cream sauce over rice. It's actually really, really exceptional. All right, so let's go over to the stove. The stove. Lights on. All right, here's our cast iron pan. This is where our pot pie is going to land. ultimately. Let's go ahead and start our fill right here. Only way you've had, yeah, shit on a shingle? Shit on a shingle is pretty good. So basically make the same cream sauce as you would make for shit on a shingle, but serve it with the chicken and wrap it with the chipped beef. Wrap the chicken with the chipped beef and do it over rice. It's really good. Maybe a little bit diced up in some good old eggs. Eggs goldenrod? What is eggs goldenrod? Fill me in here. Inquiring minds want to know. I guess we're not ready for the stove, I guess, quite yet. Let's see, we're gonna use butter for this because it's Southern food. What other fat are you gonna use? Butter, right? Butter, of course. Saddest thing, all these countries have this crazy national dish and ours is fish and chips. Like, what? Yeah, that's a fair point. But you know what? There's something to be said for like a well executed, because I've had shitty fish and chips way more times than I've had really good fish and chips. And that's facts. I went to work once at a very busy seafood restaurant, and the station that I started off on was the fry station, and they did great fresh fish. They really did. They had awesome fish selection. They actually had a fresh fish case out front of the restaurant where if you just wanted to take home fresh fish by the pound, you could. So it functioned as a market, like just fresh fish market. There were no other groceries or anything. But it was a very, very, very busy restaurant mostly. And anyway, so they had some really high quality fish, and they had fish and chips on the menu. They had me make the batter, and I was flabbergasted because they didn't even add salt to it. I was like, how do you sell a single one of these without adding salt into the batter? Like, it was the most bland, flavorless fish and chips I'd ever seen in my life, and they were charging a mint for it because it was not a like cheap spot. So anyway, that was the first change. That was the first menu change I made at that place. I was like, okay, I'm changing the batter for this. Can I have your permission to change the batter for this? And it was about that time. That was the very last restaurant I ever worked in, because it was about that time that I decided, you know what? I'm sick of asking people for permission. I need to do something else that's mine. I hate doing things by other people's rules. So cream gravy, but you're mixing in crumbled boiled eggs on toast. I have never even heard of that. What part of the country does that come from, Lumen? Had you on the laptop, I had to switch over to my phone since your laptop is dead. Don't! Even if it's basic fish and chips, you do have to do it right, exactly. It's bogus, isn't it? It proper is. Alright, let's ramp the heat up. Let's get you all over here to the stove. And because we have so many vegetables, we're going to have to do this in batches, which is okay. But just don't ever overload your pan, guys. This is a big deal. Like, you want to make sure that, you know, have a full pan, because you don't want to have to cook for an inordinate amount of time just to get finished. But don't go crazy and overfill. Like, we're going to do all these harder vegetables like the onion and the carrot and the Brussels, celery, stuff like that in this first batch, and then we'll do the softer veg like the tomatoes, zucchini, squash in the next batch. That way we don't overcrowd everything, and it still doesn't take us an eternity to get done, you know? Let me grab my sieve so we can strain out the last few veg here. All right, there we go. Let's see. It's an old school thing, very old school. Way back when my dad was in the Navy. Interesting. Americans eat anything as long as you market it right. For example, McDonald's. That's fair. Wendy's, though. Pie. Oh, pie. I'm making the pie. I was like, is there somebody in my chat named Pie that I just don't know? Great to see you too, Bonsai. How are you? I hope you're well. I'll get you a proper shout out here since we just cooking. Oh, wait. All right. Okay, friends. For those of you not already following Bonsai Merlin, you should. I don't know what you're waiting for. Bonsai Merlin is an awesome food and drink streamer. She makes fantastic food, super friendly, super welcoming. Her kitchen's fantastic. Her camera quality is great. Her internet doesn't suck like mine does on occasion. So, I mean, you know, she's got smooth sailing. And she makes awesome, awesome, awesome food. Seriously, just a great food and drink personality. I genuinely enjoy who she is as a human. All right. Go ahead and hit this with just a little salt. Oh, shoot, I didn't even put you all over on the stove for that. Here you go, you want to see that? All up in your face. I'll just bang a piece of onion into the fryer oil, no big deal. Nobody will notice. Let's see. Even Burger King is better. To be honest, the only fast food that I've eaten in probably, and look, I don't know if she can verify or not, but Pug Bunny should be able to confirm that honestly, the only fast food that I've had in the last probably 20 years has been Taco Bell. Taco Bell, if it weren't for Taco Bell, I wouldn't eat fast food. The burgers don't interest me. Fries are cool, but I don't, fries come with everything at every restaurant, so why do I need to go to a fast food burger joint to get them? You have not eaten Taco Bell? Taco Bell messes with your stomach. I've got an iron gut. Look, here's the thing. When you work in the restaurant industry for as long as I did, and you really, you get into it, and you live the life, and you party the parties, and you go and do the hangs. The only things that used to be open at that hour were Taco Bells. So you invariably ended up at Taco Bell shit-faced. I mean, just plastered, because why not? That's what you did. Cram some Taco Bell down your gullet, go home, pass out, wake up in the morning, cold deli sub, orange Fanta soda, and a couple of Excedrin, right as rain, ready to go for your shift. Ready to go, chef. Get it done. Domino's is the best fast food chain. Oof. 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 You'd be hard pressed to sell me on that particular opinion. But like you said, we all get our own opinions, and that's fair. You're absolutely right, we do. And that's yours. I think Domino's is just the worst. It's just the worst pizza. Like, there was a time when Domino's admitted that they were terrible and then redesigned their whole menu, and it still was terrible. Like, it didn't get any better. If anything, they did away with the only tolerable thing on the menu. Their deep dish pizza, you used to be able to customize the amount of zesty, spicy blend underneath the crust, and they did away with that whenever they revamped the menu, and that was about the only thing I could tolerate, was like an extra zesty deep dish from Domino's. And now George has asked me to tell you all the story about my trip to Jack in the Box. So, all right. Jack in the Box, for those that don't know, it's an American burger chain. Hang on, let me grab some fat here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Whatever. Anyway, Jack in the Box is a fast food burger chain here in the United States, and they don't exist everywhere, but they do exist in enough places that I had them whenever I was younger, and I hadn't had them in quite some time. But on a trip out to San Diego, so me and this girl I was seeing, we went to the bar district, and we were drinking and having a good time. She was from the area, and we had met up with some of her old friends, and we had a great time. And we called her or cab or Uber or whatever it was. Anyway, we weren't driving; we were both drunk. But we called her a ride, and on the way back, it must have been a cab, because we were able to talk him into diverting. Anyway, so we call a cab, and we're riding back from the bar district called the Gas Lamp in San Diego, back to our hotel in La Jolla. And on the way, there was a Jack in the Box, and I hadn't seen one since I was a kid. And I was like, ooh, pull over, stop at Jack in the Box, because I mean, you're drunk, may as well get food, and especially if it's a Jack in the Box that you haven't been to in forever. So I stop in, and I knew immediately what I wanted. I wanted a sourdough Jack burger, which is it's a burger with almost no vegetables on it. Which I'm not opposed to vegetables, but in that drunken moment, that's exactly what I wanted. It's a double burger with bacon, mayo, cheese, and a slice of tomato. And it's on sourdough bread that they grill like a grilled cheese sandwich. And it's really a killer burger for a fast food burger, joint burger. Anyway, so we order. She got something, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, she got food, I got food. We haul ass back to the hotel. We get to the hotel, sit down on the bed, I divvy up the food, and I'm ready, man. I'm so excited. I don't think you guys understand how how excited I was for this moment, because I was drunk, which makes you already easily excitable by stupid things like greasy burgers at 3 a.m. But number two is I genuinely hadn't had one in a while, and I remembered it being pretty good. So we get back to the hotel, divvy up the food, and I'm ready, man. I eat my fries, and I'm stoked, because this is how I do things. I only eat things one at a time. I'm not one of those take a bite of this, take a bite of that people. I eat one whole thing to completion, and then I move on to the next thing. To me, it allows me to taste it better and pick apart the flavors, which I really enjoy. Anyway, so I ate my way through the fries, and then I unwrapped my burger, and there in front of me sits a perfect sourdough jack burger. It is everything that the picture shows it to be on the menu. It looks glorious. Only problem is, must have looked a little too good, because there in my sandwich is one clean, perfect bite taken out of this sandwich. So they were going down building it. They got done and they said, oh, look at that. That thing's beautiful. I'm gonna need this. And so they take a bite and then wrapped it up and sent it out the window to these drunk people in a cab. I ate that shit like a soldier. I wasn't even playing. I didn't care. I found it hilarious. It left me with a great story. It may be gross, but I didn't give a shit. Hammer gives no fucks. Yeah, for science. Oh, what am I gonna do? Waste it? I haven't had a Jack in the Box in goddamn forever. Oh, here we go. On the saute pan number 2. Yeah, exactly. I had a story to tell. What's the fun in just getting bent out of shape about your burger that you drunkenly got at 3 a.m. that your body really probably didn't need anyway? Like, seriously, what are we talking? You just gonna throw it away? There's starving children in some country. I don't think we pissed off anybody. We legit just went there and ordered our food. I think, honest to God, I think some dude was either high or drunk or just, maybe it was his last day. Maybe he didn't care. But saw that burger going by and just goes, hump. And then just didn't even think about it, man. I don't know how anyone would make that mistake. I'm sure it wasn't a mistake. But I didn't care. I didn't care. I was in the moment. I was living in the moment, so to speak. Alright, back on the stove. You see the nice green tomatoes? I love green tomatoes in things. Green tomatoes are freaking excellent in white chili. White chicken chili with green tomatoes instead of red. Oh, forget about it. Because they hold up to the cook so well that you still end up with some bite left to them, even after a long stew. It's nice. Is the Subway like in the underground or like on ground? And are they good? Never had. Like you're talking about like in terms of transportation, a Subway? Because that would be underground, like the London Tube, I think. I think you guys call it the Tube.
Yeah. Sorry.
All good. No worries. Here, you can keep it.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That was the recipe.
Are who ready?
There's a little pop over baby.
This chicken.
Oh, that's
For the pot pie.
It looks like actual pot pies right there, like pop over pot pie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like little personal pot pies. That's funny. Hey,
Rowdy, go lay down.
oh, you don't need that. No, you don't need to give it to me. You don't need that. Come on, get here. Get here.
What is the camera doing? Hey, Artemis.
Thank you.
Artemis, up top. Pay attention. If you want to. So I don't know where that left off and where it's picking back up, but Subway is like the McDonald's of deli sandwiches is kind of what I said there. It's the long and the short. All right, now in this pan, let's build our sauce. Let's go ahead, take the heat off of it for now. All right, so hey, come on, camera, keep up. Keep up, Artemis. All right, so I'm gonna peel garlic. Which, if you've never seen me do that before, the trick, you just take it, put it in between your hands and roll it like a Play-Doh snake, and the peel will just come right off. Bonfire in fiance. Miss Ruby just kicked us. Oh, whoa, Ruby, dude, I need to turn this up, I guess. My sound alerts ain't happening in my kitchen. Ruby, thank you so much. How are you? How are you? How was your fancy ingredient gathering? How did your meal turn out? For those of you that didn't know, Miss Ruby was gathering fancy ingredients and making quite the fancy dinner. Steak, Hasselback potatoes, how did those go? I'm actually genuinely curious about that. Good, doing baby bedtime. Okay, I won't keep you. Music down. Computer, turn it down. Computer, turn it down. How about that? Oh, Jiminy Christmas. That's back to back. Back to back. What's up, ladies? So, Ruby, you probably disappeared. Instagram reel to follow. Oh, reel to follow. Okay, right on. Well, I will keep up to date on. I'll just check the Discord, I assume. But anyway, hey guys, let me get a couple of shout outs going on. First, Ruby. For anybody that doesn't already follow Mrs. Ruby, I'm guessing most of you probably do, but in case you don't, she's fantastic. Has an adorable little girl named Mary and a great little family. Today they went out shopping for gourmet or fancy ingredients, so to speak, and ended up doing Hasselback potatoes, steak, all kinds of good stuff. Great little family, great community. Please follow Miss Ruby. She's awesome. Also, Mandy the Gray, welcome in. Thank you so much for bringing you and your family and your little community along with you to see me. I hope you're doing well. How did Christmas in July come out? So for those that don't know, Mandy the Gray was doing Christmas in July today. I was in for the Mickey treats, which were awesome. They were making Rice Krispie treats like they make at Disneyland with the mouse ears dipped. It's the Mickey face. And bunch of other Christmas treats. How many marshmallows ended up being in the thing? Do you know? All right, let me get to the welcomes. Here we go. Let's see. Welcome in Shayna, obviously. Welcome in Miss Ruby, obviously. Welcome in Aspie. Hey, welcome in Aspie. Thank you so much for joining us. Aspie, I don't know if I've ever had you on my stream and told you this like face to face, but real talk, you make fire ass food for real. Like all the food porn channels of all the food and drink discords that we share in common, I seriously am I'm an admirer of your work. You do great work. Bonfire in Fiancé. I'm gonna guess that I'm saying that right. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I'm just gonna call you Bonfire. Hey, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. And then we gave Ruby the shout out, and then oh, Shane already beat me to the shout out for Mandy. Thank you so much. Let's see. Welcome in. Let me see. We were on the welcome ins. Hannah Luzu, welcome in. Thank you very much for joining me from Ms. Ruby's community. Hope you're well. Everybody that doesn't know me, my name's Hammer. I cook. It's true story. More than just a sign on that wall. Yeah, you can see it in frame. I didn't need to make the camera chase me. The camera, that's Artemis. He's our cameraman. He's artificially intelligent, so sometimes he gets distracted. Exclamation chef story. Shayna already did it. Thank you very much, Shayna. It explains a little bit about me and my history. I've been a professional chef on and off for over 20 years. I've been cooking for basically as long as I can remember. Even at, at a basic level at 9 years old, like you make mac and cheese and stuff, but then just continuing on. I've run my own companies, ice cream company and a catering company. Both got killed by COVID. And now here I am doing this. We try and do restaurant quality food for under $5 on a plate. And today we're doing chicken pot pie. We got a whole lot of garden fresh veg. And we made our own pie crust, which we need to roll out after we make this sauce. So let's build our pan sauce. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you so much for sharing your community. Thank you so much for joining. Lawa Soft here from Ms. Ruby. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for Lawa. She told us to be nice, so you don't know what to say, but hi. You know what? You be whoever you are. Be your authentic self. That's who I want you to be here. If you're a dick, be a dick. This is an 18 and up channel, by the way. Yeah. You're free to be you. Let's see. Dylan, thank you very much. Be right back. All good. Oh, see, I tried to double up on the Ruby shout out, and Shayna had already beat me to it. Thank you very much, Shayna. Let's see. Somebody gave me a break. Puck Bunny gave me a break just a couple of minutes ago. Thank you, Puck Bunny. I will take that break momentarily. Let me make sure I got everybody. Shayna Mandy the Gray. 449. So I was way off. If I'd have guessed just with, I thought bare minimum there were 1,000 in there, and then I just did 420 to be clever. If I'd have just done straight 420, I might have won. Huh? Do I also do desserts? I make ice cream. So every 100 new followers, which we are up to 673 now. Lois Soft, thank you very much. Matt M, thank you very much. Hannah Luzu, thank you very much. Dylan, thank you very much. I'm sorry, my sound alerts aren't working. So if you guys have followed me in this stream and I didn't call it out, thank you all so much for the follows. Here's what we do with new followers around here. Every 100 new followers, we do an ice cream stream. And it's an ice cream democracy. So you guys get to choose base flavor, sauces, mix-ins, anything else, anything that you want about that ice cream. And it can be anything, because I can make ice cream out of any flavors. You guys get to decide everything about that flavor of ice cream, and we make it here live over the course of a weekend. Every 100 followers, and we are at 673 now, so we only need 27 more. That's unreal to me. That is unreal to me. That's a scary idea, but you dig it. You go to sleep. It's 3 a.m. here. Okay, well, Lala, thank you so much for joining. I don't blame you for clocking out at 3 a.m. Get you some rest. Thank you so much for becoming part of my community. I appreciate you genuinely. Give another shout out for George. Hell yeah. Call your dog. Mrs. Ellis, you redeemed Call Your Dog. Are you guys seeing the sound alerts, or are they not playing for you either? Because I'm only seeing the redemptions because I have my like creator window open. I'm not hearing anything. Yeah, Dylan, I'm telling you, I'm not opposed to anything chat wants to come up with. Sorry guys, I live in the country. That's Starlink. That is Elon Musk's spectacular space internet. That's as good as we can get around here, and as you can see, it still has its issues. So, I apologize. I genuinely, if I could get it any better, I would. But just stick with me. I'll always be back. I'll never leave you hanging. Alright, so I'm just going to mince up some garlic to start this sauce here. You know what? I ain't even going to mince it. I'm just going to slice it. That'll be fine. It's going in pot pie anyway. Alright, we're just going to take this and go straight into the saute pan over there that we got done sauteing our veg in. That pan's still cold right now, so. Okay. Let's see. Your specialty is desserts, and as you said, you worked in a bakery. Your favorite is a basic carrot cake. Carrot cake is honestly so good. Carrot cake might be my favorite cake. I've said it's my favorite cake for a long time, and if I give it some real honest thought, like there might be, like if tiramisu is considered a cake, then I guess tiramisu, but I have a hard time calling that a cake. It's kind of its own thing. My dad makes a really good German chocolate cake. I very much enjoy that. But yeah, I'm with you. Carrot cake, I like how it's not too sweet. I think that's what I've always loved about carrot cake, is it's never too sweet. There are some times where it too closely resembles a spice cake, but I think that's just when somebody gets it wrong. You can get the job at Walmart, but your husband got the job at the warehouse that he applied for. Oh, okay. He starts Wednesday, I think, right? All right, there we go. We got some temperature in this. Now what we're gonna do, let me take you guys over to the stove. Got the garlic on. We're gonna bring butter to the party. As with all the other vegetables that we've done so far. For anybody keeping count on how much butter we've used so far, this ain't health food, y'all. Let's see, we used 3.5 to make the pie crust. This makes our, we've done 1.5 just to saute and make a roux. Aunt makes the best carrot cake you've ever had. Angela, if you could slide me that recipe in a DM, I'd make it. If your aunt's willing to part with it, because like I said, big fan. I do love me some carrot cake. Bro, y'all want to see how sunburnt I got? I showed this at the beginning of stream, but just in case, because there wasn't hardly anybody around. So, look at this. See, go down, and then we'll bring it back up a little bit. So I was gonna make this chicken pot pie originally yesterday, but I went out to mow the lawn. Blam! Bro, I got cooked so hard. That was rough. I was spent, dude. I couldn't do it. It just wasn't happening. Anyway, that was my sunburn. That's why I didn't cook yesterday, is because I was like, the idea of being anywhere near anything hot yesterday just wasn't happening. It wasn't flying.